Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Teresa here with a layout for Erica Rose. The creative team is sharing their layouts using the pumpkin spice cut file available in the Erica Rose Creates shop this month. And so I'm going to have a little play with Addison today dressed up as Yoshi back in 2015. Some of the things I'm using, remember those alphabets? Those are older from Studio Calico and Ali Edwards. You probably have some in your stash still as well. And then the cut file that I've cut using the sort of lime green Yoshi famous color. And then these are the pumpkins that I cut out from the pattern papers from Paige Evans Tricks and Treats. I'm also going to use some of the enamel dots, the ephemera here, and then this great title pack, puffy titles. These are awesome. And so what I did was cut the pumpkins so that the patterns show on the diagonal, going from top left to bottom right. And to glue them, I had them all laid out the way they needed to be on the cardstock. Oh, by the way, the background is just plain black cardstock here, textured basil. And so what I'm going to do is, working with the Tombow Mono Glue, I'm going to go row by row, 2 by 2 here. And so what I can do is, in order to keep them organized and make sure that I glue the right ones in the right place, is go from the laid out face up patterns on the left hand side, flip them over to the far right hand side. And so that's the first column complete here, or the first 2 columns complete, and you can see how those patterns are lining up. Of course, this is the back side, so they don't, this isn't how they're intended to be just yet, but I'm going to move on to the other 3 columns and do those row by row as well. And I hope that's helpful for you to see how I organize it in my brain and on my own workspace to keep those patterns going in the right direction. I did have one that I put down in the wrong place, but the Tombow glue, not grew, the Tombow glue gives you time to move things around as you need to. It dries reasonably quickly. By the time everything was placed down, it was all dry and good to go. But it does also give you a little time to work with it. And I love that about that. I was looking back and I got, one of the design teams I was on, we did a collab with Tombow, and they sent a bunch of adhesives. They sent 2 of those bottles of liquid glue, and they've lasted me since 2018. And so I gotta say that that's a nice experience with that glue. And so now you can see the back side of the cut file coming together here. It looks so cool. Even on the B side, it looks really cool. But of course, we're here for the cut file. And I love the distinction that the cut file makes. And so here you can see how relatively quickly everything dried. And you can see it on my white background, how it looks. But then watch the difference when I place it onto the black cardstock. I felt like it really popped and felt more like how we do on Halloween. So I love this. Watch it Ah, okay. That makes me so happy. This is why I love cut files. So now the cut file is in place. All the pattern papers have, all the pumpkins have been glued. And so I've got 2 photos here. I talk often for my kids' albums how I love to include a photo of them individually. Of course, you get to see his cute little face and those adorable freckles and his costume, both a close-up and a full frame, and also his sister Asher there in the background, so that there's a feeling of our family being together and documenting relationships. So the letters are going to be the title here, which I'm figuring you probably guessed that already. And they felt a little, when I was laying out all the elements on the page before filming, the alphabets, they are pretty large size. I think they're 3 inches. So it's easy to feel like they take over the layout, which of course I didn't want, but I did want the title to be bold. So I'm gonna layer these just lightly over top of each other and give it a little more dimension, some shadows in there and some higher points there on the page. And I think that looks great. It does look off-centered at this point, but once I add the ephemera, it will make sense. So love cutting into these titles. I have used one already, but I'm going to use the Let's Go because that feels like a Yoshi Mario Kart themed kind of title. Let's go, Yoshi. So we've played quite a few Mario Kart games in this household over the years. So here's where the off-centered Yoshi makes a little more sense, because I used one of the banners there on the H, just to break up some of that white there and make it not quite so stand outish, so that it blends in with the layout as a whole. And then the label up at the top for the journaling, keeping this really simple. Again, I say this all the time for the boy layouts. It's okay to keep the embellishing simple, and of course with the background and all of those beautiful pattern papers, you're set here for visual interest on this layout. But you know, every layout needs a little tiny bit of sparkle, so I am going to incorporate some of the enamel dots. I'm absolutely in love with those stars. I need more star enamel dots like that. Yeah, and so then I'm going to add my journaling here at the top. I have to tell you guys that he was so excited that year to get to be Yoshi, and so I was very excited to have him experience that and have such a good time that night. And then the last little thing here is the date, and I'm just going to add this very documentary style directly onto the photo, sort of keeping the embellishments within that smaller frame here that the photos and the title afford. So that's my layout for today. Thank you so much for watching. I will have a link to this cut file down below for you. I hope you'll check it out. And as always, I'll see you back here again real soon. Bye-bye.